portal. You have to have certified financial statements. If it's over from 500,000 to $1 million, they have to be audited financial statements. But if you're raising under 500 grand, it's something to consider looking at. The portals themselves have various requirements about where you have to be in terms of your business plan or development, attachments. They all sort of differ. The SEC rules require certain things in terms of disclosure of the ownership of the company and these kinds of things, and then the portals have additional requirements on top of that.
You have a quick question?
I was told that if you're going to sell equity to a film, that you should LLC that project separately. Is that true?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, even if you already have a company, they call it single-purpose entities, and that just restricts your liability. So that if there's a lawsuit, heaven forbid, something goes wrong, or there's a dispute by one of your producers or whatever it happens to be, then the only assets that are at risk are in that LLC as opposed to your parent company, to the extent there is one.
We'll ask him that later. Cole, I wanted to ask you, gap financing, tax incentives, pre-sales, all the stuff that people, like sort of next level financing. Can you give us a brief understanding of those options and how relevant they are to emerging filmmakers?
Who knows what gap financing is? It's essentially a loan. It's as simple as it sounds. It's a gap in your budget, so it's usually like a last money in, first money out type of thing. For emerging filmmakers, unless you have that sort of A-list actor buddy that you can get in your film, it's not that important, I guess. I mean, it's important to understand it because the eventual goal is to get there, obviously. But it's like we've been talking about, for your first films, talk to your friends, talk to your family, crowdfund, go after grants, things like that. But to get things like any sort of loan, a gap loan, a bridge loan, to be able to do pre-sales, things of that nature, you're gonna need actors that have some foreign sales value. So you're gonna need sales estimates for an international sales company. Well, to get those estimates, more often than not, you're going to need those actors already attached. It also helps to have an experienced director. You're gonna at least have to have the director in place. Can everybody hear me? Am I talking loud enough?
You can talk louder. You can talk louder, it's okay.
Okay, I'll try to talk louder. So it's, and then when you're tax incentives and things like that, if you want to utilize those up front, there are entities that will cash flow them or lend money against them, but that usually takes like a bond, which essentially means insurance that your film, if say you film for $1 million and you run out of money and you're not done with the film, the bond company will kick in and come and finish the film. But you don't want that to happen. A bond company is a pain in the ass, to be honest. So it's like when you're doing movies up to, I don't know, $2, even $3 million, a lot of times I prefer not to do a bond. I mean, of course, the investors like it because their money's protected per se, but that will cost you an additional 10% in your budget. So you're essentially just paying them a fee just to say, in case we run out of money, you'll come in and finish this. So there's a lot of those things to have in place. So you have to have a bondable director, a bondable producer. And that means people that have done it before. And again, essentially all of this, like, you just writing letters to film investment companies, traditional companies that do film financing, without having these name actors on board isn't really doing you any good. You might read their website and it says, yes, we read scripts and things like that, but the thing is, right after you send your script that has no name actors attached to it, CAA or one of these big agencies is sending them a package full of actors ready to go. So it's like yours is gonna fall by the wayside. So it's really doing whatever you can do to legitimize your project, to get those name actors. And the thing is, name actors do want to work. It's just getting to them, and they have a lot of people in front of them, obviously, the managers, the agents, etc. It's like they will work for lower money. I mean, there's less films being made. Everybody's trying to get that TV job. Studios are just, doing comic books and remakes. So it's like, they will work. It's just about getting to them, and it's like, the actors that you think are worth money because they're a lead on a TV show aren't in the independent film world. They don't mean anything in Germany or some of these places. I mean, they might in that particular country. But for the most part, TV stars don't mean anything internationally. It's unfortunately, you know, it's like your Dolph Lundgrens and your Steven Seagals, they still do.